we didn't imagine we can come to this far. Kabisa, we didn't imagine. So we are very grateful for this far. And what made us to move is that determination and the ambition to move on, to be far than where we are. Yes.
The moment I have an idea, the money will always come. The money will always come. So ideas are always there. But once you have that idea and you know how to present it well to the potential funders, they will always be funded and funds will always come through. But the most important thing is the resilience. The journey is not over. The journey is not over. We still have a very long vision about this project. And we really want to, if possible, and with the availability of funds, buy even neighboring portions of land so that we're able to extend our project and serve our customers. 5 years is quite a lot. Yeah. I think the last time you came here, we never had the fish farming. We never had an extension of our farm to the other side. So with that, with my assurance and that of my wife, because that is part of our vision, we are exploring. We want to add an additional, we want to have an additional 1 acre right behind our house. We want to have an additional 1 acre, and the process of actually buying the same has started. All that we are waiting for right now is the money to come through, which we believe it will. And so in 5 years' time, this valid dream will be fully accomplished, and all that we are saying here will actually be over accomplished.
It's another fine but rainy day here in Kilifi County, County 003. This is Kazung Samuel, and this is the Untold farming segment coming to you from Bofa Village. Bofa Village is just around 5 kilometers away from the Kilifi Central Business District. And if we talk about smallholder farmers making strides and making changes to our society, this is exactly what I'm telling. You see, we are about to talk to a couple here who have taken farming seriously. Now you can see from them what they have done here. We'll talk to them a short while, but before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. If you have not yet subscribed, you go to the channel, hit the subscription button, and then like, share, and comment. Interact with us, because in that channel we have so many interviews, we have so many episodes. Very, very nice interaction with the farmers from all over the country, and we'll get to know what these guys are doing in changing the narrative about smallholder farming. Again, a bigger shout to our team watching us from diaspora, Mr. Mike Watito from New Jersey and your team. We are very, very happy that you are together with us. Hamisi Maweche from Paris, France, and the diaspora team. Nasema shukran sana kwamba you are supporting us na mnaendelea kuwa na sisi pamoja. Now, coming back here, this couple has been doing a lot of farming here, and we will just talk to them on why they ventured into farming, how they're changing the scenario, how are they changing the story. Because for many years, smallholder farmers have been looked down. But going by the stories we have been doing around, you can see now this is another area that in fact the government really needs to look into it. Smallholder farmers are really doing exceptional well. They are part of the society down there that are shaping the community in terms of having vegetables, all other farming products, enabling the community to reach them with easy. Again, my name is Kazung Samuel, and this is Untold Farming. So dakika kidogo tu will be talking to the couple, watueleze their journey through farming and exactly what are they doing here, because I know this is a very good story. You don't have to go away, just stay focused, stay tuned, and we will be there. We are in Bofa here, and as I told you earlier, we are meeting this couple. They have done extremely well in terms of vegetable growing, fish growing, and so many ventures these guys are doing here. So we just need to hear their story, how they have been doing, and I'm sure this episode is going to be a helper to many people who wants to venture into farming.
May I take this opportunity to first of all welcome your viewers to this farm. This is Bofa-Greenway Farm. My name is Kahindi Mweni. We are the real owners of this farm, and many people are always welcome, including Kazungu, so that he captures this particular farm for each and everyone's benefit, be able to view, get what you're able to get out of our farm, implement the same at your farm, so that we grow together as one. Yeah, yeah.
Asante sana, and maybe you introduce yourself also to viewers.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kazungu. I'm Grace Kahindi. I'm also the owner of this shamba.
Now, Mr. Kahindi, just take us through, how did this idea came into your mind? When did you start, and what did you start with here?
First of all, I think during your introduction, you started by saying that food security is actually key in every human's life. So in 2020, the idea of producing our own food came into mind. The whole idea was not to really produce food for sale or for commercial purposes, but it was to produce food for our own consumption. Being the youthful we are, and being a couple, obviously we had kids, and so we never wanted to have a situation where kids are going hungry, kids are going without food. For us as grown-ups, at least sometimes you can say you're a bit resilient, but for kids that is not the case. Kids always want to have food. So in 2020, we wanted to produce food for ourselves, but then another idea came, and not just came out of ourselves, but from the neighborhoods, that you guys are producing food for yourselves, but even us in the neighboring communities, we do not have that food. We really need what you're producing at your own farm, even if you're going to extend the same to us on sale. That is when we started expanding from mchicha only. We went ahead to now sukuma wiki, to maize, to the farmers we are today. Fish farming is at large scale here. We have started poultry farming. We are doing livestock farming, and so much. I think as we go around, you'll be able to see what we are doing. But so far, that is exactly what we are doing, and we look forward to even doing more. Yeah.
Okay. Grace, as a couple engaging in agriculture, maybe what has been your push to make sure that this project continues and you are serving a bigger number of our community? What is your uptake on this?
As I said earlier, I really need to serve the community. That is the only thing that pushes me ahead. That I serve the community, it makes me very happy. To add on that, the food that I get also makes me move ahead to do this farming.
So, Mr. Kahindi, in this section, maybe you take us through the various sections in your farm. Maybe start by explaining to us maybe where we are right now, what happens here, and then just you'll tell us what happens in the other sectors of your farm, and how big is your land.
So may I start by answering your last question? We're operating on a 1.5 acres piece of land, and in this 1.5 acre piece of land is where we practice all the types of irrigation, all the types of farming that I mentioned earlier. The livestock farming, the poultry farming, fish farming, and now crop farming, that is. So where we are currently, you can see a lot of sukuma wiki around here. So the type of irrigation we use is drip. We use drip irrigation because of the nature, the unwasteful nature of that type. Water is only going to where it is required. Areas where there are no crops, rather no plants, you will not have water because we only plant where there are emitters along those particular sections. So we have several sections in this land. Each section is operated separately with a gate valve. Once you open the gate valve, that section is watered uniformly. Within 20 to 25 minutes, it's well watered. You close that section, open another section. So in total in this farm, we have a total of 16 sections, which I will be taking you around so that you get to see in each and every section what exactly have we planted. But where we are currently, we have sukuma wiki, and then the moment we move to the other sections, you'll still be able to see what we have put. Yeah.
This is an area, a section preserved for sukuma wiki, kale. Now the couple have a lot of other projects they are doing here. So from here we are heading to another project they are doing until we finish, and we highlight everything they are doing. This is very, very wonderful, and coming from Kilifi, it's even more nice. So let's join again as we go to the other section of this farm. We are at one of the fish ponds. Remember, this couple has also been engaging in fish production. Very, very interesting project. You would like to know on how they started it, what was the motivation behind it. And so welcome back Mr. Kahindi. Tueleze tu unasema kwa ngapi ulianzisha lini mradi hapa?
So thank you and welcome back again to this particular section, which is now the fish farming section. Now the idea of fish farming again came as a result of the deficit of the same product here. Despite us having the Indian Ocean, where one would expect that a lot of fish would be produced, unfortunately, sometimes as a coastalian, as a Kilifian, at times you would go without fish. You really want to feed on fresh fish, but there's none that can be found. You just even go to the beach and you still cannot find any. So we decided that we wanted to do fish farming because of that gap that is existing, so that at least we are able to bridge the same. So where we stand right now is a concrete pond. The type of ponds we have are concrete ponds because of the cheap nature of their construction over the earthen ponds, where one digs a ditch, then puts a polythene paper or a dam liner to make sure that water does not go deeper into the soil. So this one is concrete pond, very cheap to construct. We only use the readily available materials of sand, our blocks right from the beach down there. And so in this particular pond we have a total of 2,000 fish. The type of fish we put is tilapia. Our tilapia is sourced from Busia. This variety has...
So you bring these things from Busia?
So we bought the fingerlings from Busia County, which is in Western Kenya. 2,000 in total. Each tilapia has a capacity of growing up to a maximum of 2 kgs. In 6 months, we should be back here to harvest our product and sell to our readily available market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have not yet started selling this fish, and now maybe you tell our viewers, maybe to start such a project, maybe how much did it cost you to do the entire fish project here?
Now this fish farming project has a history behind it. There is an organization called Farm Africa. That organization, Farm Africa, the monitoring and evaluation officer came to our farm, having been interested in the crop farming we were doing then, and the crop farming and the poultry farming and the livestock farming we were doing. So they introduced to us a project known as YISA. YISA in full is Youth in Aquaculture, Youth in Sustainable Aquaculture. So when they introduced to us that idea, we thought it was so nice because number one, it was going to come with funding. It was going to come with a lot of benefits, including the funding to do the construction, the funding for the sourcing of the fingerlings, the funding for feeds and all aspects, including training and everything behind fish farming. And so we went ahead and did a business plan with my wife here. So upon submission of the same, it was successful and we were awarded some amount of money, which I will disclose because it is not in secret. We were awarded a total of 1.2 million, and it is a project that is going to run for up to 5 years. Full funding and everything, training and all aspects, including market. So that is how we started this project. And within this one pond alone, inclusive of everything, according to our records, we spent a total of 340,000. The construction, the fingerlings, and all the aspects of this one pond. We have a total of 2 ponds here. So this one cost us that much, 340,000. The other pond, which we'll also have a view of it, cost us the same because they're of the same size and they hold the same capacity of fish. Yeah.
So let's talk about the market. Do you have a ready market for this product? How organized are you to make sure that once you start the harvesting process, then everything is just smoothly running?
So our first market comes from the YISA program itself. Having sponsored us into doing this project, the training, the market, ventures that are there. Those guys have assured us that upon harvesting, or rather during the time of harvesting, we inform them. Then in case we will not be having the market that is much needed for this product, obviously they will provide us market. But other than that, we have done so much as farmers, myself and my spouse here. We have done a lot behind the marketing bit. We do not have to wait until the harvesting time for us to start marketing our product. We have programs as this that Kazungu is doing for us. Kazungu's viewers get to know that Kahindi and his spouse Grace have fish in large quantities. This pond we are here right now, these fish are only 1.5 months old. We'll be harvesting the same in 6 months. By December 23rd, we should be harvesting this product. Get to know that we have that fish. Other than that, we have been bringing so many people here. We have been conducting trainings here regarding our fish farming and other farming ventures that we conduct. And part of that training is to insist our trainees and trainers that we have this product. Upon maturity, bring us market. And so at this point, we have a feeling that the market is there, very ready, because sometimes people call and inquire whether the fish is ready, whether they can come and get a few or not. Yeah.
Thank you. Now you have heard it from the horse's mouth how this project is actually going to change the community here. It's a very unique project coming from this side here. We have the ocean here, but you see this is a very, very different project that is producing tilapia here. We now shift to another sector. Remember, this couple is doing extremely well in terms of, and this is a very good example of how smallholder farmers need to change the society. They're changing the narrative. So let's go to the next step. We see what these guys are really doing here. We are in the second pond now, where Mr. Kahindi is doing his fishing project. Now, explain to us about this. It's a huge one. What is the size of this pond?
So the size is, I think the size is both the same as from, compared to the other one there. They are all 20 by 20 meters, which is 400 meters square, 400 meters square. So these ones, it's the hugest pond, or rather it's the largest pond, but we divided into two because of the nature of the land. We never wanted a situation where you fill in water into the pond and all the water gets into a particular section, because one section is bigger, one section is raised and the other one is a bit shallow. And so this small pond we are in here right now has a capacity of 2,000 also, so the other one 2,000. So these ones are bigger. We actually source these ones from Tezo. We source these ones from Tezo, particularly from a farmer by the name Mr. Ambre Mwangemi. Mr. Ambre Mwangemi has also been our role model in the fish farming project. He actually took us through the entire training before the YISA, before Farm Africa came. And so this is also tilapia. They are actually 5 months old. They are due for harvest in July. Okay. They are due for harvest in July 4th. And so only 1 month to harvesting. They are big, 2,000 in total. And these ones have a capacity of growing up to 750 grams. It's actually one of the reasons as to why we thought of sourcing fingerlings from Busia, trying to see how we can improve the product we have. So these ones can grow up to 750 grams, but the initial pond can have a capacity of growing up to 2 kilograms. So you can be able to see that difference in terms of marketing. At least with two fish here, you can get a kilogram, at least 1.5 kgs. But with one, we have the capacity of up to 2 kgs, which means those ones can fetch us more money than these ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how much do you expect to gain or to get in terms of profits after maybe you have sold your entire stock? And then, what happens after you sell your first stock? Are you restocking? Just to give us the process.
So if you look at the nature of the pond, how the pond was done, you'll realize that there are chambers. There are different chambers. One that is separated from the bigger one. Fish usually give birth. Fish produce. We have a mix of male and female fish here. So throughout their life, they will always produce. They will always give birth. So most of the time we use a scooping net to scoop our fingerlings. Once they have been hatched, we scoop them so that we separate them from the mothers. Because if we do not separate them from the mothers, sometimes the mothers feed on the fingerlings. Though for us here it is not common because they will have enough feeds. Situations where we do not have enough feeds, the big fish will always feed on the small ones. So in terms of what happens after harvesting, the moment we have separated our fingerlings and put them in a fingerlings chamber, it is very easy for us. We harvest what we have in the bigger pond, drain all the water, then feed the pond with fresh water, then pick fingerlings from the fingerlings chamber and restock our ponds. That way we have completely run away from the cost of buying fresh ponds, especially after harvesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make me understand something here. So it means maybe, for example, if I want to start a this fish project, I can come for the fingerlings once maybe you have, or do you plan also to be selling fingerlings to other buyers or other customers? Do we see you going into that way?
Absolutely, absolutely. That is the roadmap. That is the roadmap. Number one, to make sure ourselves we do not go back to the market where we have to be forced. We will be forced to buy fingerlings. We produce them for ourselves right here. But I believe a situation will come where we will have excess fingerlings. At such points, we will advertise for those fingerlings because we will not want to have so huge populations in small fingerlings chamber. So we will want to have markets for those fingerlings so that as we wait for our big fish to grow to full maturity and be ready for the market, we also get money from the fingerlings that we obtained, fortunately, from the big fish that we have in our bigger ponds. Yeah, so that is basically the journey, where we also have markets for fingerlings as well as the mature fish. Yeah.
Viewers, that's the journey, and basically the journey has started, and I can say it has really started on a high note. This is extremely very wonderful. It's a very wonderful scenario. These are scenarios we never saw in the past, but now this generation is actually changing the narrative. If you can have fish here, then that tells you something, that our communities are really geared towards change, and this is the change. This is quite extraordinary, I can tell you. This couple is really doing very fantastic in terms of vegetable growing. You have seen the fish project there. There's so many products that are growing here. So we are in this section, and we would want them to tell us what are they growing here in this section. Mr. Kahindi, just inform us of what exactly are you putting in this area?
So thank you, Bwana Samuel. So in this section, we majorly do the vegetables, particularly amaranthus, commonly known as mchicha. Mchicha here is a very common vegetable. It's actually what we started with in our farming. It's what we started with in our farming project, and we started it in a very small portion. Is when now the community members started coming, and we started seeing the growth for it, and we extended the same. So in this whole portion, we have a total of 4 portions over here where we are actually standing. Why am I talking in terms of portions? Because it's a way of controlling the water pressure. Vegetables are heavy consumers of water, and so when we do them in portions that are watered in terms of intervals, is when we are going to be able to water them effectively and efficiently, and our yield is going to be quite well. So this mchicha that you are seeing over here is actually 7 months old. We planted this one here on the 11th of November last year, and that is why I will always be recommending drip irrigation, because under normal circumstances, mchicha would only do well in 1 to 2 months. But ours has gone to the extent of 7 months. It is old enough. It is due for replacement, but at least we have harvested enough. We have actually assisted our members of the communities enough, and our markets in general.
Grace, kindly tell us who are your clients here, and how has this farming assisted you in one way or the other?
Okay, my clients are the mamambogas from the markets there and even the villagers from this community. This farming has helped me a lot because in one day harvest can get almost 10,000, which is a very good money. I use this money for my kids' fees, paying token, and even paying the workers. So it has really helped me a lot. Yes.
Maybe you give us your daily program. How do you conduct yourself? Maybe just give us what's your day like in this farm? How do you start your day and how does it end?
Okay, in this farm I have 2 workers. I'm not doing it alone. I have 2 workers who usually come in the morning at 7:30 and leave in the evening by 5:30. So when they come, they are the ones who do the work in the shamba. I'm just there to supervise them and help where they need. Yes.
Back to you, Mr. Kahindi. Just tell us, how has been the impact of this project to the community? Because we know most of these smallholder projects are dealing directly with farmers, the community around, or even the entire county. Tell us about the impact of this project to the community you are living around here.
Huge impact in the sense that this is vegetable farming where it's food production directly. And you know, as human beings, we cannot live without food. As I started by telling you, when we started this project, the idea was not for us to sell. But eventually, due to the need, due to the demand from the outside communities and markets from as far as Malindi, we started extending. The journey to extension wasn't easy, but eventually it happened and we are here today. The impact is so huge. Our neighboring communities get food from here. When we do maize, they always buy fresh maize. At some point, Kideri maize. When we do dry maize, they also buy from here. And obviously, the price they buy from here, directly from here being the farm, is obviously cheaper compared to the price they would have bought the same products from outside, either from the market or, of course, from the market. So the impact is huge, cheap, fresh vegetables, and fresh and cheap everything from this particular farm.
Tell us about employment, because Grace has said that there are some people whom you are employing to work on this farm. This also is another case of self-employment. Maybe tell us about the scope of employment. How important is this sector when it comes to self-employment and the situation in the country at the moment?
Yeah, so in terms of self-employment, of course, anything you do outside your formal employment falls directly under self-employment. So this project, as my wife has started by saying, the moment we sell, we usually get money, but alongside the money, we also get food from. We also get food for ourselves. But most importantly, is the self-employment. Other than getting money for myself, for the wife, for the kids, and all the other needs of this particular homestead, we have also offered employment for our farmers, for our workers. Sorry. We have a total of 2 workers in this particular farm, working directly for the farm. But the journey is not to stop at 2 workers. The journey is huge. The more the projects we have, the more the demand for us to add onto the manpower. So for us, that is the joy. That is the joy. We are putting food to the table of our customers, but alongside that, we are also putting food on the table of ourselves and our workers.
Okay. We know this is a very good venture, and maybe just tell us what is the role of maybe both the national and county governments in ensuring that such programs in food security and agriculture continue seamlessly. What is your word to the county government and to the national government in terms of enhancing this sector?
I have tried number without times to reach out to the office in charge of agriculture here in Kilifi, but I must appreciate first of all that the fisheries officer, one of the fisheries officers, especially once they got notified of our venture into fish farming, one of them visited us here. I wasn't around. I don't think my wife too was around, but I was informed that the guy came. Actually, a photo was taken and I was sent of his evidence of being on my compound, and that was very impressive. But my call, Kahindi is just but one of the farmers. Kahindi and his spouse is one of those farmers. We have several other farmers here in Tezo, here in Kilifi County, who really would need the extension services of the various extension officers we have in our county government of Kilifi. The governor, the agriculture officer, get it directly from Kahindi. Reach out to us. When we need you, we do not need money directly. Sometimes we need mere trainings, mere guidance on how best we can do these agricultural activities for better yields and better markets. And so my humble request would be that. Come over to the ground, give us what we need to prosper, and I believe Kilifi in the next 5 to 10 years will not be the same again. Yeah.
Now, there's something maybe you need to clarify about the availability of water, because you know sometimes, although it is raining now, but this area can be very, very dry. What is your source of water? Did you dig a borehole? How do you get your water to do all this project here?
Yeah, so this has been a journey, Kazungu, that I must disclose. This has been a journey. When we started farming in 2020, we didn't have a source of water. We didn't have any source of water, but we were solely relying on the rainfall. And I can assure you that in 2020 alone, we were specializing on maize production. We did about 10 bags of maize in was it a half an acre or slightly 1 acre? It wasn't even 1 acre, but I can be sure of a half an acre. And with the reliance of rainfall alone, we did more than 10 bags of dry maize. But then, as time progressed, we realized that with that kind of production, we really needed to have it almost throughout the year. So the thought of irrigation came in, but then there was the question of the water source. So right from the back, that is my neighbor has a well. And so I consulted him whether we could use his water, and he approved it. So we used his water for about 2 years, and then because of God's grace, we did our own borehole. So right now as we speak, we did our own borehole last year on the 30th of June. It was ready by 5th of July. The same borehole enabled us now to do an extension of our drip irrigation system to other portions of the farm, but also it is the same borehole that enabled us to start the fish farming project. So indeed, we have a borehole on the farm.
You see, if things are going on well like this, you just feel appreciated. Now, as we are about to close up our interview, I have a question for the couple. Now, starting with Grace, when you started this project, did you imagine that it will reach to this level? And what have you learned along the way?
Surely, we didn't imagine we can come to this far. Kabisa, we didn't imagine. So we are very grateful for this far. And what made us to move is that determination and the ambition to move on, to be far than where we are. Yes.
Quite encouraging, precious to the point, determination. Mr. Kahindi, just to give us an overview, when you sat with your wife to plan about this farming project, did you ever think that it will reach to this level? And what has been the efforts since then?
I think my wife has said it almost all. It is quite unbelievable that we are here today, but I can attribute to this exemplary work to the determination she mentioned, but other than that, the resilience. I've seen a lot of people beginning smart things, good things, but consistency has lacked, the resilience has lacked. Markets will always not be the same. Sometimes they will boom, sometimes they will be very bad. It is upon you to decide whether to continue, because now you are at a point where markets are not there. Make a decision. We have employed a number of strategies here. When we have so much product in the farm and there are no markets for them, we would rather increase the quantities or rather lower the prices, but most of the time we employ the increase the quantities strategy to make sure you clear. Mchicha and other farming projects, and other crops, they get old. When the point of harvesting them reaches, they must be harvested. They must be cleared out of the farm. If you do not have the market, sometimes you can even give them out for free. So the resilience, the determination has really pushed us through. For me, Kazungu, I know there's one thing you are looking for, the financial aspect. I usually tell myself that the moment I have an idea, the money will always come. The money will always come. So ideas are always there, but once you have that idea and you know how to present it well to the potential funders, they will always be funded and funds will always come through. But the most important thing is the resilience. The journey is not over. The journey is not over. We still have a very long vision about this project, and we really want to, if possible, and with the availability of funds, buy even neighboring portions of land so that we're able to extend our project and serve our customers. Yeah.
That's expansion now. Quite an encouraging shot there from Mr. Kahindi. Now, the final question maybe to Grace. There are some maybe women just sitting and waiting for the husband to bring something home. Maybe what is your word on them? What's the role of women in shaping up programs like this?
To the women back there and those who are watching or the viewers, the time is gone for women to sit or to relax. Let them venture into agriculture. It really pays. So let them wake up, open their eyes. You don't need a very big portion, or you don't need a borehole. You can even go and fetch some water and do a small portion. It pays. So women out there, wake up. Don't just sit and relax, wait for your husbands. No, gone are those days. So let them wake up and do agriculture.
5 years from now, where do we expect this project to take you to?
5 years is quite a lot. 5 years is quite a lot. Yeah. I think the last time you came here, we never had the fish farming. We never had an extension of our farm to the other side. So with my assurance and that of my wife, because that is part of our vision, we are exploring. We want to add an additional. We want to have an additional 1 acre right behind our house. We want to have an additional 1 acre, and the process of actually buying the same has started. All that we are waiting for right now is the money to come through, which we believe it will. And so in 5 years' time, this valid dream will be fully accomplished, and all that we are saying here will actually be accomplished. Yeah.
Wow, that's that's extremely wonderful. Determination, hope, big dreams, and of course efforts. This is exactly what has measured in our interview today here in Bofa. The couple has really done extremely well in matters agriculture. So we talk about food security. We talk about this couple here in Bofa, in the outskirts of Kilifi town. Quite an interesting story. I'm sure you don't have to miss this one. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, kindly do so. My name is Kazungu Samuel, and this is Untold Farming Segment, coming to you from Bofa in Kilifi County, County 003.